Hey everybody. So I was going through Perilous Dark, the rules for the next scenario that we want to play. It's called Dog Days, and I need 6 chrono hounds. And chrono hounds are like these kind of indestructible demon. Like time dog things. I was going through my my pile of shame, looking for something that I could paint up. Well, I was looking online for something that I thought would be cool, and found something in my pile of shame. It's a CMON game, and it's called The Others. And this is one of the seven deadly sins. Is wrath. So. I'm not painting up the whole box. I'm just painting up the abominations, but there's some awesome looking sculpts. Like I got them a while ago, and then they've been hanging out in the pile of shame, and I just had an excuse to paint them. But they're really cool. Like I think I'm going to be using them for D&D. They're going to be like Luke Crota or Blink Dogs or Hellhounds or something in my game, and I feel like if I could definitely use them in Warcry. I could sub them out for like some Demons of Corn, Fleshhounds or something. But yeah, it's Adrian Smith's artwork. If you watch my channel, every once in a while I do I try to copy concept art, or I'll try and like copy the studio paint job, and then show you how I think they did it, or like how to get a similar result. So this is Adrian Smith's art. Adrian Smith is an illustrator, and I love his art. He just does some awesome looking, art, like concept art, game art stuff. I'm gonna try and sort of pretty faithfully recreate his like concept art, the card art that comes with the game, my final paint job, like I love these guys. They look awesome, and I'm glad that I rebased them and everything too, to give them big, epic bases. But the paint job didn't take that long. It was only like a few hours, and if you don't count drying time, if you don't count like rebasing and stuff like that, like it would have gone way faster. But because I airbrushed them. Airbrush makes really fast work of stuff like this. But anyways, yeah. Let's do some painting. So I've had this hanging out in my pile of shame for a long time now. This is The Others board game, or it's an expansion for The Others, and this is the Wrath box. You can see it comes with 4 of these abomination guys, and I want to use them for Frostgrave. They're going to be my my chrono hounds for Frostgrave. This is the kind of stuff that I have sitting in my pile of shame. I saw these. Somebody painted them, and then I just think that they look awesome. These guys especially. Like the controller guy is cool. The big guy is cool too, like a cool looking demon. But I especially wanted these. So yeah, it looks like I need to do a little bit of scene cleanup. They did a pretty good job of sort of hiding the join though. So gap filling isn't really going to be an issue. I'm just gonna do a little tiny bit of seam cleanup, and then I'm gonna prime these guys. Maybe do some basting. So I finished cleaning these guys up, and then I was just gonna glue some like ground gravel down or something. I looked through what I have, and I have just enough lipped bases to do all of these guys. So these connections, you know, are they're kind of bulky. I mean, it's sturdy. They're nice and sturdy, but I really like these, and I want to do some epic bases. So I think I'm going to slice them off, these guys, and then rebase them with these. So yeah, it's happening. So I'm going to make some foam core bases. So I like to just snap them, you know, to like get some natural looking kind of cracks with stuff. Keep track of where everything is. And then I can slice off, just gonna press on it like that. And that's where my cut is. Okay, yeah, lost where my cracks are supposed to be. But it still looks like some cool kind of cracked stone texture. I think I'm gonna do a few like that. So now I've got some foam core bases done up. I'm going to go around the sides and use a little more super glue. So I have some like sand that I sifted out. These are like the bigger chunks, and then there's some kind of like kitty litter stuff mixed in there. And then I'm just going to sprinkle that around. And I'm going to put the big chunks in first. And then go back in later with a finer sand and let that run into the cracks. But I'm going to be using super glue for this. Watch out when you're using super glue with the foam, foam core, because it melts foam core. So just be sparing with it, because the fumes can be pretty horrendous. You can blind yourself with super glue fumes. No joke. Cyanoacrylate can blind you. Get too close to the fumes. Be careful. Don't be a klutz like me. Okay, now I'm using a crapped out razor. I'm sorry, an X-Acto, and if you see smoke over here, it's not it's not plastic that's on fire. I'm just burning some incense because it stinks. So I'm going to heat up the blade, and then I'm going to put it through the connection. And don't like push too hard, you don't want to slip and slice your hand open. But the heat dissipates really quickly. So it's just going to help and get through these connections a little quicker. And I'm even using them. I don't like these ones, these X-Actos with the smooth handles. I like this kind of one, you know. So they have some good grip on them. So I'm using the cracked out blade and an X-Acto, you know, scalpel handle thing that I don't care about to heat up. So I'm gonna just cut these guys' feet off. Cut the connections off. Again, be careful. Just make a few passes at it. Don't hurt yourself. Okay, and now that I've got these guys cut off, so I've made the bases so that they have good contact points. Like I made a lot of these pretty long, or a lot of these kind of long strip pieces because just because of how their poses are. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin the feet. So just going to pick a spot with a good spot for a pin. And then this is this drill bit is like teeny tiny, and it's about the width of like a paper clip or like a push pin, you know, like this. So I'll just chop off pieces of a push pin and use that as a pin. And I'm actually going to paint these guys before I pin them to the bases. And a little dot of super glue. And that's really all the connection that it needs after I push it through the base and drill a hole in the base too. Alright, I'm glad that part's over because I didn't cut myself or burn myself. So I'm going to switch to some PVA glue. Just going to use some polymers because I can water it down and sort of brush it into spots where I want it. And like take it off the tops of things where I don't want it. I can control it a lot easier than with like super glue. Super glue will dry really quick, but it you know, it's very, very hard to control. Like this stuff I can actually use a brush and then brush it around. So I have a much finer grit sand that I sifted out, and so I'm gonna brush it on these bases, like into the cracks. So I want to fill things in. And that's a much finer, you know, finer texture. But I want to put the big rocks in and then fill in the little cracks around them after. I put the big rocks in first and then go in later with the finer sand. Much more finer detail. Alright, finally time to do some priming. I like to thin my primer a little. It does go through the airbrush, you know, you don't have to thin it. Like Full Hill or Style Res, it doesn't matter. I still thin them a little bit, just because it goes through the airbrush a little better if you do. Alright, so now that everything's primed, I'm just going to set these aside because I'm just going to dry brush them later, and I want them pretty dark. So what I'm going to do first for these guys is I'm going to mix up some, I'm going to use like half and half model color, well, a little bit more, like maybe 2 to 1 model color to Liquitex ink. So I just want to make kind of a nice looking deep purple for the shadows. This has a little bit of green in it, so obviously the blue is going to cool it down a little bit, but the green is going to add some nice shadows, because this is very bright, and it's also a little bit too thick to go through the airbrush the way I want it to. So I'm just going to mix a little bit of the Liquitex ink in there, and also ink. If you airbrush with pure ink, it has this Liquitex and like Daler-Rowney, they have kind of a satin finish. They're like slightly glossy. And I want these to be matte. I want my colors to be matte. So, yeah. I want a little more blue, a little bit more of the blue and green in there. So I'm gonna add a little more of this. I'm thinking I might need a little bit deeper purple. So the model color dries ultra matte. It has an ultra matte finish. So I want to keep the really matte finish of model color, but I want some of the transparency and the runniness of the ink in there. Also, I switched to my harder and Steenbeck. It has a lot more control, much finer nozzle for detail work. Probably gotta plug it into those. Okay, now I'm going to mix in a little more pinkish purple. That's really what this is. It's not very much of a blue violet. It's more like kind of a hot pink purple. Thin that down a little bit. I'm gonna do a little quick change in here with this color. Just trying to sort of rub it off the walls of the cup. Dump that out. Alright, and now I've got this little plinth thing with some holes drilled in it that are kind of the right size, and I'm gonna do some highlights with this color. Alright, and I'm going to remix this color. So I'm just going to dump it back in here. And then scrub my paint cup. Use some like quick change thinner stuff. Wash that color out real quick. Dump it out. I'm gonna add some more green berry. Actually, I think I will add a little bit of the white, just because I do want a kind of like saturated white highlight. Normally I almost never mix pure white, but usually, I would mix another color, because white just, it makes everything look white. Sort of takes all the color right out of things, but I kind of want that right now. Very intense pigment. And as I go on, I'm putting less and less, like the highlights are going to be more intense in like very small areas. So I want the, if if I'm doing bright colors, high highlights, they're going to be in key spots on like high points on the models, not anywhere down near the bottom. All of the highlights are going to be up on like the tops, or like teeth or something like that, to make things stand out. Alright, so I'm done with my my airbrush layer, and that's where we're at. You can see he's still got some really dark shadows, but a lot of it is this kind of pinkish purple color. So yeah, I'm gonna let these guys dry. I'm gonna take my dog for a walk, and then I'll come back to them. Alright, so yeah, I took the dog for a walk real quick. If you've ever done airbrushing and then you started painting on something and then peeled up paint, it's a bummer. It really pisses you off. So yeah, better safe than sorry. So I think I'm gonna do like teeth and claws and stuff next. So let's start off with some really mediocre. I was called a mediocre. So I want some nice like opaque color, so I'm just gonna paint straight out of the pot with it, and start doing like toenails and stuff. So I'm still trying to leave the shadows, I'm still trying to leave like dark spots. Trying to pick up more like highlights. So anywhere that's like purple or pink, then I'm gonna get that. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing. Got a few colors. I personally like this Men Off-White base for like teeth and bone and stuff like that. It's a really nice color. This is kind of an off-white, kind of an eggshell. I'm just going to use a small dry brush. Oops. Some of these teeth. And I'm not too worried about getting like this part of the mouth and stuff like that. It's fine if I get a little bit of over dry brush. In fact, like you can see that the color doesn't look half bad on top of the skin. What that looks like in some highlights. Now I'm going to do some midland flush. These guys, and I am kind of doing this like step by step, you know, assembly line, because I don't really want to mix the colors in the brush while I'm doing it. So just get some pink in there. It'll look cool against the purple. Alright, so now I'm going to do some washes. I'm going to make a purple, so I'm just going to mix, you know, blue and red. Actually, I'm going to use this flesh wash. And then I'm going to use some red on different areas. And I'll just put out some flesh wash too. Okay. Use like kind of a medium-sized brush. Just throw some shade on. I want some red in the mouth, around the teeth. So got everybody temporarily on their bases. Just want to see how they look. And I think I want to I'm going to do like a second pass with the red. Because I want to really tone up the red on these guys back here. So I'm just going to do another red wash pass, shader pass, and then really, you know, dump it on there. Just back here in some of these fleshy parts. Okay, now real quick, I'm just going to show you how I do a dry brush base real quick. So I'm going to go dark to light. I've got some gun quartz brown, some trader green, and then this is Deneb stone. It's a citadel color that they don't make anymore, but I'm sure there's some kind of equivalent. That's what that looks like. I'm going to work from my darkest color up to my lightest color. I'm going to use a kind of a medium, this makeup brush. Just a little bit on the tip of the brush, work it in. Gently go over the top. Circles. Throw a green in there. And some gray. That one's just about that center. It's almost gone. That. And then I'm going to use some pigments. Same thing, working dark to light. This one's new. And then I'll just repaint the rim of my base black. And that was dry enough. Pop this guy down. And I made these sort of to fit their poses. So I'm going to put this guy longwise. Actually, I want this spot in front right there. Like that. And then I'm going to super glue him down. That's it. Alright, that's it, you guys. Yeah, these are definitely some awesome models, and I love Adrian Smith's artwork. You know, it's really cool to try and reproduce his art in on a 3D miniature. You know, it's really fun, really fulfilling when they're done. But yeah, that's gonna be it. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys like some of the new cool like fusion stuff that I've been doing with DaVinci Resolve, and playing with some new stuff, some new video stuff. But welcome my new subscribers, and thanks for watching, and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you guys next time.